welcome back to another video here. So, a little bit late here on this game. But yeah, man. Here we go. The Ravens pull out a very, very ugly win, 10-9 against the Denver Broncos. So, what I'm going to do, I'm going to talk about the game here. I'm going to talk about the game. We really there's really some things to be said in this one. So, first off, I'm going to go through the stats here. Stats, hold up, I'm going to pull out the stats. So, Tyler Huntley went 27 out of 32, 187 yards, 1 pick, sacked twice, 10 rushes for 41 yards, 1 rushing TD, which ended up being the game-winning TD, and passer rating of 78. Lamar, he was only in for he only got 4 attempts. He went 3 out of 4 in these attempts, 11 yards, sacked twice. Second one got him injured, and before the injury, he had 1 rush for 9 yards. Yeah, 9 yards and 77.1 QB rating. Prochet, he threw a pick. It is only pass. I'm going to talk about this play later on into the video. Rushing, Tyler Huntley, like I said, 41 yards. He led the team. Kenyon Drake, 7 for 29. Edwards, 6 for 12. Duvernay, 2 for 9. Lamar, 1 for 9. Justice Hill, 1 for 2. Mark Andrews, he got a 4th down rush. Receiving, Mark Andrews, 4 for 53. Demarcus Robinson, 7 for 41. Duvernay, 6 for 34. Likely, 4 for 30. Drake, 2 for 17. Deshaun Jackson, 2 for 10. James Prochet, 2 for 9. Justice Hill, 2 for 4. And Ricard, it was an incomplete pass. Actually, no, never mind. He got a reception, but he went nowhere. Tucker made all his field goals, I guess. Yeah, he did. Jordan Stout, he had a very, very, very big day in punting. He had 6 punts, and he had 5 of them were inside the 20. Good job for the rookie. Defense played lights out here. Patrick Queen led the team in tackles with 7. We sacked Russ twice, Marlon Humphrey and Odafe away, but we didn't cause any turnovers, unfortunately. We allowed 189 yards on Russell Wilson, 17 out of 22. Like I said, we sacked him twice. We allowed 47 to Latavius Murray. We allowed 85 yards to Greg Dolshin and 65 to Jerry Jeudy. And McManus for them missed what would have been the game-winning field goal, but he made pretty much all of them. They did not score a TD at all. We held them to 9 points. All of them bend don't break defense. Jeffrey Simmons for them had 2 picks, and Alex Singleton led the team in tackles. And they got 4 sacks. That's pretty much it. I'm just reading out the stats. So, first off, I'm going to talk about the Lamar Jackson injury. So, Lamar, he got injured in the first quarter, I think. Second quarter, in like the 3rd drive after a sack. But yeah, the Ravens, they got an update on Lamar. Again, it was not a torn ACL. It was nothing. It's not season ending at all either. You know. So, we dodged a bullet here. We actually dodged a bullet because he has a PCL injury. So it's really not bad as of now. It could have been much worse than it is. It could have been much worse, and the timeline is 1 to 3 weeks. So what makes me confident that it's true is that last year when Lamar got injured in his ankle, he wasn't able to walk. He was carted off. So that looked way more serious than they said it was, and there was no actual timeline on that injury. It was just week to week. We'll see. And Lamar, he had one practice in the remainder of the season, and he looked very bad. So, and this time around, he was able to walk out. He was able to walk out in his own power, barely, but still. And again, it wasn't a serious injury, like it said. It's a PCL, sprain. We really dodged the bullet here. The timeline is out 1 to 3 weeks. So, it typically has a timetable 1 to 3 weeks. So, at worst case scenario, we see Lamar against the Falcons, back against the Falcons, and hopefully we're able to have a big game against that horrible Falcons defense. But let me take care of business here first. We have two divisional games before that. So, again, we dodged a massive bullet here. We got extremely lucky. And that's God bless, because if this was a torn PCL, this season is over. This is all I'm gonna say. This season is over. But hey, he should be back Christmas Eve at the latest. So good news. So good things first. So let's talk about the defense here. Let's talk about the defense because I'm gonna start with the positive, and what I try and do is put the negative again at the other stretch of the video, right there. So again, Roquan Smith, his impact on this defense is enormous. He's played lights out. He is an absolute animal out there. And Marlon Humphrey, once again, another player, again, quietly having an all-pro year. That's already Pro Bowl, but hey, first-team All-Pro. He should be the first-team All-Pro. That is 100% for sure. But hey, a very nice rebound by the defense from last week in the past few minutes. And again, it really shows the importance of Marlon Humphrey in this team. It really shows a difference. So, good thing. We only allowed 272 yards and 9 points. I mean, again, it's bad offense by Denver because their offense has really been, they're averaging, 12, 11 points a game, something like that? And if they scored 18 points every game, they would have been, 9-2 or something? Again, we really kept it in check. And we're able to play some bend, don't break defense. Because, again, they were getting yards. They were able to get some plays at some point. The problem is, they weren't able to finish. It was either a punt, or they would just get a field goal at worst. And what's impressive is that we were able to recover from the turnovers. We were able to recover from that. Because, again, they scored a total of 3 points off 2 Justin Simmons interceptions. That is something. So, props to the defense. I still think it's not. I still think it's again, it's been playing better these past few weeks, for sure. Especially when in the beginning of the season it wasn't playing up to a standard, especially with the amount of resources we spend on that defense. But yeah, man. Really can't. I really can't say. I really have nothing to say about the defense except Udalfe got his sack. He got his sack. He finally did something, and hopefully we get to see Marcus Williams and David Ojabo back. In the Steelers game. And also update on Patrick Quinn's injury. He's good. It was a thigh bruise. Yeah, it was that. So he's in line to play against the Steelers next week. And if he doesn't, not too surprised, but he's expected to play next game. It wasn't as bad as it looked, because this injury looked worse than Lamar's injury. Honestly, he was carted off. Lamar was not. But hey, he might even come back before Lamar. But yeah, next thing to talk about here, the offense. All right, offense. There needs to be a little talk, because again, fans, man, I do not know what's wrong with fans sometimes, man. Because if you look at what happened all game, because again, you would want to look at one drive and say, hey, the defense did something, the offense did something. No, they did not. Like, again, people lose brain cells so fast, because this offense was extremely dysfunctional. It was an extremely dysfunctional offense. It really did not move. And again, this offense, what we saw from the offense this game, shows how important Lamar is to this, how important he is to this team, and how good he is. Because Huntley was not able to do anything. This offense was just going nowhere, except for the last drive, where normally it's in crucial moments that the Denver defense just decides to crumble. But hey, first off, about Huntley, props to him for having Lamar's back, because again, we haven't seen a lot of that in this era. We haven't seen a lot of guys have Lamar's back. But Huntley, he won the game. Good on him. However, it's kind of sad to me that, hey, what we see in him, people try and compare to Lamar. Like, it needs to be addressed. I'm happy he won the game for the team, and he showed for us that he has Lamar's back. But Huntley was making a lot of mistakes, man. He was making a lot of mistakes that even Lamar wouldn't make. And there's mistakes where if Lamar made tinier mistakes, there would be an outrage and all this criticism and all of this. But he gets off the hook, and he literally gets praised and said, "Oh, you should replace Lamar," for him being pretty bad. So, I mean, I do know Lamar's asking for more money than Huntley, but Lamar already deserved the money. He's already done enough for that money. Since week 3, you look at the first 3 weeks of the season, hey, he's already done enough. Because he took that team, and again, when the defense was playing bad, what he was trying to do, he was trying to outscore the mistakes of the defense. Outscore our own mistakes. So, and again, this offense was dysfunctional with Huntley in every drive. And before we had that 91-yard TD, game-winning TD drive, we only had 3 points in the entire game. So that says something. We're not going to take that away. I'm not going to take that out of my head because he led a 91-yard TD drive, because this wouldn't have happened for Lamar. And again, Huntley's game was not It was extremely inefficient. It was an inefficient game, and this is all I'm going to say about it. It was an inefficient game from Tyler Huntley, and again, I expected that from him because nobody can replace Lamar's production. Nobody can. But hey, people are gonna look at the completion percentage and say, "Hey, he was efficient." No, he was not. He was not. Like, his longest pass was 16 yards. His longest pass was 16 yards. And again, his fourth longest pass. Yup. And every pass above 16 yards was incomplete. So that says something too. So let's chill out with that. He had 27 out of 32 for only 187-yard passing. If Lamar only had 187-yard passing, there would be a problem. So stop here. And also, I'd rather Lamar's game last week against the Jags is 50 yards completion, is 50% completion percentage, and the 10 drops from last week was much more efficient than what we saw from Tyler Huntley, and that's only the truth. Okay. Maybe Huntley, he did good for an ugly offense, but no one rational person would suck him off for that game at all. And again, he's no Lamar, and what we see, bro, this fan base took Lamar heavily for granted, and you have guys like Quadri Ishmael, you have guys like Ryan Mink. Again, other guys who would just look at this offense and say, "Oh, Huntley better," and then, I mean, bro. Y'all deserve the pain of Kyle Bowler. Y'all deserve it. People like Quadri Ishmael deserve the pain of an offense like Kyle Bowler, of this functional offense. Because again, if I'm looking on Twitter and then seeing, Quadri Ishmael saying, "Look at Huntley commanding this offense," you would think we dropped a 40 burger on that Broncos offense, on that Broncos defense, but we did not. We dropped 10 points, and he's out there saying, "Look at how he's commanding the offense." Well, I'm sorry to say, this is not 1935. You need to score points to win, and we got lucky that the Broncos, that either the Broncos didn't have more time on the clock at the end of the game, or that it's the Broncos, okay? The defense crumbled at the end of the game. But their defense, we made their defense look like the 85 Bears. And we're talking here about, hey, look at how Huntley's commanding the offense. He was not good. And even Greg Roman, I'm going to talk about him later on here in this video, with how much of an idiot he is. He knows he's not. He doesn't push the ball down the field. And this game showed that if a quarterback can't push the ball downfield, you're screwed, because he had all these 3-yard dumps, 4-yard passes, 2 yards. They were going nowhere. It brought us nowhere for the entire game. But hey, again, it further proves how bad Greg Roman. It further proves that the problem is not Lamar, it's Greg Roman. Okay, it further proves that. But hey, I'm not gonna give Huntley the full blame for that, because of course the quarterback is always gonna have some share of their blame. But hey, I do not want to go through this again like last year, where you have stupid fans deciding to be stupid. Extremely stupid. Because, I mean, it was not an efficient game. And nothing can tell me otherwise on that at all. It was not efficient. And again, Lamar's going to get his money. Because this is Lamar's team, not Huntley's team. All right? And what we see here is that this offense could work for Huntley, but once again, Lamar has outgrown it. And that's no knock on Huntley. That's a knock on Greg Roman, and that's praise to Lamar. Because there's a difference, and it's so easy to understand. It can benefit Huntley in some ways, but Lamar has outgrown it for years. And that's how good he is. And again, we see Ryan Ming going in and trying to point out layups that Lamar missed. Or some other fans. I've seen some other fans trying to... there's not really time to throw. And no, he's not going to throw to a freaking fullback. Like, dude, stop just pointing out plays. Like, all quarterbacks miss layups. But no, Lamar has to be 98% accurate. Every quarterback misses layups. Allen and Mahomes miss more layups than Lamar. And Brady, too. They miss more layups. The difference is their weapons and their coordinators, they get these looks frequently. And this is how they're going to get their opportunities. While us, we get these opportunities once a game. So if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it just doesn't. We just have no chance for the rest of the game. So, again, no knock on... That's a knock again on the Ravens. Because, again, we're refusing to change our philosophy. We're trying to build the offense like it's 2019 or like it's 2001. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up, man. And this is going to bring me to Greg Roman, man. Like, he's gotten bad every game. He's gotten worse every game in the season. It's really pathetic, man. And what's funny is that it is Tuesday by the time I'm recording this, and he has still not been fired for the disaster he put up. I'm gonna first bring up the Prochet interception. Okay, end around. Fake end around, goes to Prochet. And what option does he have? Really? He could either run and risk getting tackled for loss, which I still don't remember if he had a lane, or he just throws it. He just throws the prayer and tries to see if anybody can moss. We have nobody of that caliber to even make a catch in quadruple coverage at all, first off. Second off, this has to be a schematic issue for us to have, for the Broncos to have 4 defenders in the same area, because the entire play is going that side. All the receivers are in that same area. So what you had more than 3 Broncos who were going in that same area, and Justin Simmons was able to pick it off easily. It's a problem of personnel. Because why the hell would you put Kenyon Drake to have a jump ball? Why would you do that, first off? Second off, again, it's been an issue for years and years and years and years for Greg Roman that, hey, fix your schemes. Update your database. Because this is unacceptable to have both receivers, both options for Prochet to be in the same exact area. This is absolutely pathetic. Greg Roman's play calling has been bad this entire game. He may have had his worst game as a play caller. This is horrible. And again, we might still not fire him for that because he's going to go to Stanford. So it might take him to leave by himself for him to not be with the Ravens anymore. Oh, and what happened again? Apparently, we are interviewing another guy. We're hosting somebody.
Nope.
Like, again, we are having some guy in a visit. Hold on. I'm going to need to see. I need to check his name once again. His name is what? Yeah, Willie Taggart. He just got fired by Florida Atlantic University. And he was gonna get a job in Deion Sanders' staff in Colorado, but he did not get the job there. So they decided not to take him there. And again, hopefully it just let him visit, get a cup of tea, and then go with no agreement. No agreement at all. Because I'm telling you right now, this guy is a copy of Greg Roman. And again, he's another one of Harbaugh's friends. This is annoying, man. Bro, I'm going to talk about Harbaugh as well. Dude, I will always defend Harbaugh, but this is getting unacceptable. You cannot keep hiring your friends, your incompetent friends, bring in your buddies. This is not how jobs work. Never hire your friends. Because again, this is what happened with Greg Roman. It's been 4 years and Greg Roman still hasn't gotten fired for being horrible, for being a bad coordinator. Yet again, we're gonna have another one of his buddies in the building. Again, bro, like, dude, it might be time to go for you. If you don't want to change your philosophy, if you don't want to change your ways, your way of thinking, if your way of thinking is not updated, then there's going to be an issue, and we're going to need you out the door. As much as I like you, you're a great coach, but hey, it's gone stale. It's been 15 years. Dude, it might be time for you to go if you don't want to change your ways. And it saddens me to say that because, hey, he's had so much success here as a Ravens head coach. But, again, you guys tell me what you think about this. But it might be time for him to go. Because, again, there's a problem with the way he responds to these kind of wins, too. Because he said in the press conference, this win is great for the team. Well, it's an important win because, hey, a loss here would have been more significant than a win. But hey, man, it cannot be like that. It cannot. This is not football. This is not Ravens football. This is not how Ravens football should be. It should be updated with other teams. You need to keep up with other teams in the league. Copycat league. For God's sakes. Update your shit, man. It really cannot stay like that, Harbaugh. So, that's all I'm going to say for today. Going to have a preview. Sorry for the video being nearly 30